Hey everybody, this is Rebel Builder, and what I have here is Darth Vader's ETA 2 Actis Interceptor, otherwise known as the Jedi Interceptor. Now, if you followed my channel for a while, you know I have already had this ship. I recently read the book Lords of the Sith. I actually listened to the audiobook, and this ship featured quite heavily in it, and so I was inspired to go back and revisit this. There were a couple of things about the ship that a lot of people had pointed out and I wasn't quite happy with. First change being the cockpit piece here. I originally used the newer version of the cockpit, the one that came with the 2014 Jedi Interceptor, and that was more of a light bluish gray. So I went back and used the older version from the set number 9494, which is more of a dark bluish gray. That's the one that came with the dark green Jedi Interceptor. Now I actually had this piece already. I got this one shipped by accident when I was ordering parts for all my other Jedi Interceptors. But this has a different design, so I had to go back and kind of rebuild the connection parts based on the earlier set number 9494. You know, it has a different design how those pieces connect in. So it started with a new cockpit, and then I just wanted to balance out the contrast between the dark bluish gray and the black. So I changed these pieces to gray and then added some more gray here, mainly this tile and this plate, just to kind of give it a little more balance. And I think this one looks much better. It doesn't look like all black with a couple of pieces of gray thrown on it. And before, I also had some splashes of red on the inside here. I swapped those out for the dark bluish gray, so I just kind of have this little bit of red showing through on those front cannons. And as I was listening to the audiobook, I was starting to envision this ship in my brain, and one thing I knew I had to do was include an Imperial insignia. Now these are great. You can find people who do really high quality decals like that on eBay. Did a search, and you can get them in all sorts of different colors, different sizes. You know, I got a white one, and I think that's a 1-inch size there. And I think that adds just the extra pop that this ship needs. And to me, it looks complete now. I think before it was kind of not quite there. You know, it was missing a few details. Another thing to point out, in case you haven't seen my original video, these hexagonal pieces here, they don't come in black. So I actually spray painted these. I knew I was kind of going all in on this Jedi Interceptor and was happy to do that. You know, I think I took the most common color that was also cheapest on Bricklink, got 4 of those, and spray painted those. And I think they look pretty cool. You know, I don't recommend that unless it's like for a mock that you're going to keep put together. I think if you painted some Lego parts and then threw them in a bucket, they would scrape off. But for this ship, I think it's prominent enough now. You know, we've seen models and it's been in books now that I was going to go ahead and commit to this thing and keep it around, so was happy to get those painted. I included a gray Imperial astromech here. Somebody told me that, I think it was in the book Tarkin, perhaps, that the ship was mentioned and it was said that he had a gray astromech. So I included him in here. I think he looks really cool with the color scheme. And here's Vader in the cockpit. So if you're familiar with the Jedi Interceptors, you can see how I had to modify everything in here to accommodate this piece and for the new cockpit piece here, or the old cockpit piece, I should say. But I threw in some of these Imperial printed tiles. I really like the look of those. Now I feel like I'm finally content with Vader's Jedi Interceptor here. I'm happy how it looks. It's kind of interesting, you know, playing with the colors and just swapping out just a few parts. I mean, I only swapped out 8 parts, 9, including the cockpit. Really changed the look of this thing. And it doesn't look so out of balance as it did before. And these Imperial insignias, those are high quality stickers. Really happy that I got those on eBay. So I'd love to hear what you guys think. So leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this. I'd appreciate it if you hit that thumbs up on this video. That helps my channel grow and the video grow. And if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I've got some cool mocks in the works and you don't want to miss out on those. So thanks for watching, everybody. I'll be back soon.